that, I'm going to introduce the moderator, and then they will introduce themselves. So we have Chantelle from Crownbits as our moderator. We have Michael, and we have Arel. So I'm going to give a warm welcome to them. Because it's the morning, I need you to give a little extra pep too, because I know you got it in you, okay? An extra smile and an extra clap doesn't cost you that much. So because it's the morning, give them a little extra pep, and please welcome them to the stage.
How's it going, guys?
Good morning. Great. Well, so thanks everyone for joining in on our discussion today about building on Cosmos NFTs, Metaverses, and the cloud. I'm Chantelle. Go ahead, you guys.
So my name is Arel Avellino. My company is 3 Division, and we built an NFT game on Cosmos called Strange Clan. Yup. All right, let's go. So if you guys don't know what that is, you guys got to join the clan.
What's the name of the game again?
It's called Strange Clan. So,
yeah,
Michael.
Awesome. Hey, my name is Michael Sofer. I'm director of NFTs at Tendermint, which is one of the Cosmos core development shops. I'm also founder and CEO of a company called Pylons, which is a digital item lifecycle engine, so sort of an easy NFT creation system. We have a Flutter SDK, and we're basically a no-code NFT system for mobile developers.
all right. So first question of the morning.
Let's go.
Woo.
I might need to get this coffee down
More
a little bit more.
Okay.
But let's go. Hit me.
All right. So how are you contributors to the Cosmos network?
That's a good question.
Oh, I mean, the interchain is this like glorious, multifaceted garden of blockchain delights, and every zone on the interchain brings something to the table. And just by sort of being connected and being there and delivering something, you put yourself there, and people can put you into workflows of their own, right? Like IBC is so smooth, and IBC 2.0 is about to come out, Vega upgrade.
Exciting.
And so IBC makes all of this cross-chain stuff so much smoother. So being able to say, you can make Pylons items and you can use them in other stuff on the chain. You can, put them in UMI for whatever financial purpose, or you can you can auction them off on Agoric contracts or something like that. That kind of behavior is what we're sort of here to contribute. So, I really think that just like showing up and doing something that's like different and special, even if it's a small thing in the interchain, contributes to the Cosmos community and sort of brings us all to the great interchain future.
Well, and that's one of the things that when we were looking at where did we want to launch NFTs, at the time Cosmos didn't have a lot of the easy tools to be able to launch NFTs, but we saw within the Cosmos community that anything that you put in there essentially creates this ripple effect where there's more value added on top of every project that's built in there because they all connect together. And then you also have bridges that lead out to other blockchains. So even if you have a blockchain that isn't within Cosmos, you still have the ability to connect to it. I don't think I've seen the level of innovation stacking anywhere else. So that's one of the things that led us there. And so we feel like everything that we do to even just collaborate with other projects on the chain adds more to it. But then also there's that overall collaborative spirit that I feel like I haven't seen in many other places.
So how do NFTs differ on Cosmos versus other chains?
I liked, I actually interviewed Michael at one point, and I liked Michael's reason for why he wanted to bring NFT development to Cosmos. Okay. So do you remember what you said?
I don't remember what I said.
So he asked me if you'd ever been to a party where you when you walked into the party, you had to wear clothes that they gave you, and then when you walked out, you had to not wear those clothes anymore. The interconnected nature of blockchains, so that you could literally bring anything, any digital asset you have, to all other chains that are built on there. To me, that was like, well, that makes the most sense, because honestly, blockchain should become invisible. Like the lines between where one blockchain meets another should become invisible. We just talk about the internet as the internet, right? Versus the individual websites that make it up. So I think that that's probably one of the key differences is the interconnectedness.
Yeah, I think for me, there's like a real like economic philosophy piece to that, which is that like from my perspective, what I really like the most about Web3 is the creator economy aspect of it, and basically getting away from the rent-seeking aspects of the existing economy, where like it's pay for play, right? Everyone, every audience, every place you can go, there's someone owns that channel, and you have to pay that person. And I'm really excited about this, about sort of trying to push the digital fashion world in the other direction, where there isn't, as much of like this idea of shelf space, of like this, here's this collab between this designer and this venue, but like you can actually like have a direct relationship with your designer that you're into, and like collect that stuff and then use that stuff wherever, and then you don't have this like sense where the artists of the world are hostage to the like fashion industry of the world. So that, to me, that's like a big sort of like political vision that I want to see happen. And I think the creator economy is really about like changing the power dynamic of where stuff is owned, where it's held, removing it from venues, like removing the tight coupling from venues, and sort of like taking some of the power away from these people who build these venues and then try to like extract rents from their audience.
I think that's so important.
And one thing on that, and hopefully I didn't lose my thought because you just kept going on about some really cool stuff there. But like one of the things that like you have people who are making NFTs on Ethereum, and then they get locked into the rules and the bottlenecks of Ethereum. Rather than them getting stuck there, why couldn't they just go to another chain, and migrate and use the utilities of other chains and the benefits of other chains, as innovations of each chain emerge. So that's kind of what excites me about just the stacking of Cosmos.
Okay, that's exciting. So adoption of metaverses. Where do we see this going?
So, well, all right. So my 2 cents is I feel like we still haven't figured out what the definition of a metaverse is, because everyone's talking about how they're building a metaverse. We're even saying, hey, we're technically building a metaverse. We have Passage 3D. So we have another project too called Passage 3D. If you spend any time on our Strange Clan Twitter, you'll find Passage 3D as well. But basically, it's a world builder. But then, what does it mean when we say metaverse? Are we saying like a bunch of different interconnected worlds? Because I think that sounds a little bit like a metaverse, rather than it being actually one specific place, one specific area, or somebody's one specific metaverse. I think that the interconnected part makes more sense to me, because you don't just have one profile on a social platform anymore. You have a profile on this platform, and a profile on this platform, and a profile on this platform. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't they be connected? And I think a lot of the way that the metaverse is going is that you have some kind of congruent identity that goes across all these different platforms and all these different metaverses.
Yeah. So I think I don't really pluralize metaverse. I think that saying we're building a metaverse is like saying we're building an internet.
Yeah.
It's like not, there's one metaverse in my opinion, and it's all of these venues and all of these tools that and the way they link together, and that's the metaverse. And saying, when someone says we're building a metaverse, I just think that they're, I don't know. I think that they're like, like private equity. That's what I immediately think. It's like, oh, okay, you don't get it. Now, I'm the one who's old, so like let's.
Well, and so, but I think you're right, because I think that it is like that's why we're on Cosmos. It's the internet of blockchains. So the metaverse is kind of like the interverse or internet of verses, right?
Yeah.
It's the internet of all these different very interactive spaces, right? And the things that you're able to own in those spaces, and the utility that you can have with the NFTs that you bring into those spaces. I feel like that's gaming and social media and the innovations that the internet brought kind of starting to come together and live together in a little bit more of a cohesive way.
So what unique experience are you guys bringing to the table with, let's say, gamification, the NFT experience that your platforms do on a daily basis?
Yeah. So what Pylons does that no one else is doing yet is we have a no-code blockchain experience. So we have a Flutter SDK, and if you're a Flutter developer, you can build a blockchain game, and you can design your blockchain transactions in JSON. You don't need to know any smart contract programming. You don't need to build a wallet. You don't need to run a chain. You just publish your JSON to our chain, and our wallet will mediate your users' transactions, and you can just build a blockchain game. So that's what we're trying to do, is like make what we're about is accessibility, and that means developer accessibility as well as user accessibility. So we're building, the most user-friendly NFT wallet we can build, and we're building the most developer-friendly SDKs we can build. And we really want to see, I personally really want to see this space change from a space of speculation to a space of commerce. Like I want to see like end users who are playing games and having a good time, and whose mission is to play games and have a good time and not to like flip a token, right? Like this is something that like I cling to, which is just like, what is like all of this money and speculation in the end is predicated on somebody at the end of the day feeling like a customer, spending money, getting a product and being done, and not looking to make a profit, right? Like there has to be in the end customers.
Right.
And so like that sort of has been what I'm trying to do, is like, how do we get there? How do we get like gamers who just want to play a game, right?
And so that's a great segue for me, because we're trying to build a game that gamers just want to play. And I think that there's a lot of games out there, or a lot of companies out there, that have focused a lot on, how can we make DeFi fun, and how can we bring DeFi into a game? And we basically were looking at what do gamers already do that has essentially amassed billions of dollars in many of these individual games that revolve around microtransactions. So you got all these microtransactions, but there's no actual product that's there. It's a lot of just digital code that can never leave that party. And once you bought it, you can't return it, and you also can't sell it to anybody else. It's essentially just burnt, and that money's gone. So what if you could create a secondary market behind that? And so kind of our aim is, well, gamers already kind of want that to be a thing. They want to, buy digital goods or earn digital goods that actually like mean something, and that they could sell to other people. That's why you have gamers who try to sell their Steam accounts, because they want to take the things that they've built up in this account and send it over someplace else. And so I think that gives the tools within NFTs and DeFi give the ownership not just to the player, but then also to the developers as well, where you have developers now able to better monetize these gaming experiences. So we're out there trying to create a game that really aims more at being a fun experience, really pulls you in, is immersive. And then with our other project, Passage 3D, we're trying to create a 3D world where you can essentially do FaceTime in a 3D world, where you're walking around through the world, and then giving the ability for people to not just have those deep social interactions, but then also care about the digital items that exist within like this digital world. So you're spending time now online with friends, and you have an immersive face-to-face experience with those friends. So why not have also the things that exist in the world around you be things that you also own, and have actual tangible value behind?
So if I wanted to all of a sudden, I guess, sign up on Strange Clan,
Mm-hmm.
what things can I have?
Yeah. So right now, Strange Clan is in the early development. We did our first NFT launch. Man, it feels longer ago, but it was actually just in October. So right now we're in the early development of the game. But Passage 3D is something that basically you just reach out to us and we can pull you into a Passage world today. We've been actually developing that long before we actually started getting deeper into blockchain. But we've hosted events for American Girl. We've done events for Amazon and Capitol Records. We've been talking with Nickelodeon and Funimation about some future events. So we have people who are actually using our stuff, and I think that's something else too that I've appreciated about the Cosmos community is that you have builders who are building things that people are using today, and I think that has attracted us to really wanting to collaborate with everyone, because it isn't about speculation. It's about, all right, no, let's build something that's valuable today.
What integrations do you guys think are scalable?
I'll let you go with that one first.
What integrations do we think are scalable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do a lot of sort of like, this thing being, we can do a lot of presence, you can do a lot of like item transformation. So, IBC 2.0 is coming out, and I think it's got significantly better RPC stuff. So you can do callbacks across IBC and say like, hey, I want to execute this, transaction from this chain where the item sort of currently lives. But like, the transaction happens on the home chain. So there's that kind of thing. I think, it's hard to see integrations at the sort of the real time level, right? Like when you're doing, multiple transactions a second or something, it's sort of not going to be, we're not at that place yet. But I really like this idea. I really like fashion. I really want Pylons to be like a fashion clearinghouse. So, and that's like a very integration heavy thing. I'm talking to people who do IP projects about doing like clearinghouses for books or for music or for stuff like that, right? And like that, I think we can do that. Ticketing has a lot of integration involved, right? So ticketing apps are like, you're talking to other systems and pulling stuff together. So I think primarily it's around ownership and rights management is where like the integration scalability really works. And then in sort of like real-time gameplay stuff, I think we're maybe not there yet on an integration level.
Okay.
I mean, so he's way more on the technical side. I'm doing a lot. We're doing a lot on the game development side, and we have a lot of technical people. So I defer that one over to him. But I think one of the things that
Even partnerships. I mean.
yeah, well, so one of the things I'm trying to do is every game company that is here, I've been trying to be like, hey, you guys really need to be looking at Cosmos, because every single one of them was running into the issue of, so when we did our NFT launch, one of the biggest things that was exciting for people was, little to no gas. So it was like 0.6, or it was like 6 cents, something like that, for gas on Cosmos. And so one of the things I keep telling people is like, look, if you're trying to actually do a transaction with a customer, customers freak out about $3 shipping. So why do you think they're gonna also get excited about paying for the same value in gas as they are for the NFT that you're selling? And ultimately, once we get away from perhaps some of the DeFi hype around NFTs, we might also start to see people who are continuously buying NFTs, but then you also have much more like consumer centric. So maybe they only spend like $60 on an NFT, and so that $60, if it's $100 in gas, all of a sudden now that transaction just doesn't work anymore. So I've been really pushing people towards a platform that doesn't lock them in to only using one platform, and then also provides cheap gas.
Okay. I mean, it's scalable, it's fast, it's efficient, right? I mean, has all the pros there, so that's awesome. So what infrastructure do you offer that is disruptive to the centralized cloud?
Mm. So ours is very much consumer facing. So Strange Clan and Passes 3D are very consumer facing. I don't think we have enough of that. I don't think that we have enough things that are workable tools that exist now, and really like work to make work the tools and infrastructure that's currently available. I love all the infrastructure development that's happening within Cosmos, but also I want to see more things go directly in front of a consumer and say, all right, this is something you can buy right now. This is something you can interact with right now. And then that starts to no longer make it about this hard thing to explain to your friends and family, like, well, what is it that you just put your money into? It's like, no, this is a website. Go to that website. Go hop into a passage experience. Go play the Strange Clan game. These are things that you can experience now on the consumer level that I think make it tangible, because there's too many people. Many people don't even know the infrastructure behind websites. So it's like,
for sure.
why they don't need to know that part, but they do need to know the utility of a website. What is this doing for me? Because if they don't know that, then they don't interact with it, and their interaction with it is what's giving it value. So that's kind of where we're at. And then Michael.
Yeah. I mean, so we've got this. We've got a chain, right? Our testnet's up. We've got 40 validators, and so we've got like art on the chain. We've got we started to see the beginnings of games on the chain, and so we're seeing, in terms of disrupting centralized cloud, like, I mean, we're trying to sort of do what Ethereum did, but we want to do it at a larger scale in terms of like people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, Ethereum can handle some number of transactions a second, right? And
For sure.
just can't be a mass market experience. And we're seeing now that L2s get clogged up as well, like relatively quickly as well. And so I'm, really trying to like bring on orders of magnitude broader experience and sort of continue that mission of disrupting the nature of ownership, but like, make it accessible to like a larger number of people, like a much larger number of people.
And how are you going to do that? I mean, Ethereum, that's, pretty much like the big sort of like pull, like, it's such a huge sort of network. So how do you think that you're going to be more efficient?
Well, I mean, it's not if being more efficient than Ethereum is not the hard part, right? Like, Ethereum has these really amazing qualities, but like efficiency isn't one of them. So that is sort of like where we try to come in there. Efficiency, right, and ease of use, right? How do we make it easier to get in there? I think Ethereum, the on ramps to Ethereum are very financial. You have to find a way to buy tokens. It means you're probably going to an exchange, which means you probably are like giving them a photo of your passport or something, which is just not a great onboarding experience, right? And because we are like stuff first or experience first, we don't have that on-ramp problem, because we aren't trying to get people to do DeFi. We're trying to get people to play games and make art. And you don't actually need to come in with money to play games and make art. So like, we think that, by having a friendlier onboarding flow, and, we actually don't charge gas fees on the network at all. We have a Turing incomplete smart contracting system. So we don't need gas in the same way. Okay. Because you sort of know up front how much stuff costs. You can't write loops or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And so by sort of making things much cheaper and making things much easier to access, we're hopefully going to be able to bring like a simpler set of things to a broader set of people than Ethereum was able to do, right? I think Ethereum is this like really fascinating, like, cutting edge, like tip of the spear kind of experience. For sure. But it's an expert's playground.
And so pretty much I I just want to concur with that. But then also, like, that's the important part of building the user experience, because that's what's going to bring people into these DeFi ideas, because they interact with banks online, right? And so if you can operate finance with banks online, then you can operate on a lot of the DeFi stuff, but use DeFi stuff where DeFi stuff makes sense, and then create user experiences where blockchain breakthroughs make sense as well. So.
I think we have just about 1 minute left. So is there any questions from the audience?
How y'all feeling this morning? Woo!
Woo woo! I'm feeling great. Before you guys leave the stage,
Oh, awesome. Well, what's next on the Pylons roadmap? I'm really excited about that.
Oh man. So more stuff in the SDKs, additional SDKs. Right now, you can download our wallet and some of our demo apps on Android, but we're going to get our iOS apps out. There's a big rebrand coming to the extent that that counts as roadmap. Yeah, I'm really excited about Unity and Unreal SDKs. I'm really excited about like Wallet Connect style ability to use the mobile wallet to sign stuff on desktop experiences. I believe that Chrome extensions, like browser extensions, are not it for the broader users. So having like a Wallet Connect style, like, hey, you've got your phone, you're playing your game on your computer, and your phone is signing transactions where the key is safe. Like, we're going to build that stuff. And then, yeah, I think that's probably enough to.
And then for us, next on our roadmap is we're launching a marketplace for the first round of NFTs that we launched in October. We're launching that marketplace here in December. It should be middle of December. And then we've got some stuff coming out with Passage. That stuff I can't quite talk about yet, but we've got some really cool collaborations coming out with Passage. Just look out for anything that says Blockhouse. So I'll just leave that out there. But yep.
really quickly before you leave the stage, please tell us how we can support you. You can go first. How we can support you, follow you, do you due diligence?
The best way you can support me is download the Flutter SDK and build a game.
Love that.
Get building.
Download and build, people. You heard it here in first.
And then for us, just go follow us on Strange Clan, at the Strange Clan on Twitter. And you can find all the links to find other places that we're building over there. So.
Wonderful. And for you, hello, lovely lady.
For me, well, we're going to be launching Crownbits rewards in a matter of 2 weeks. So you guys can sign up on crownbits.io. Yeah, and we're ready to go.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming to the stage. Thank you for sharing your alpha.
You guys were great.